as we're celebrating this time of the year, often we bring out the fireworks. We think about Memorial Day that just passed, 4th of July, that is coming up. And as we get our fireworks out and celebrate these occasions all summer long, we of course want to do so with safety in mind. Joining us for some helpful safety tips when it comes to fireworks is the West Bloomfield Township Fire Marshal, Byron Turnquist. Byron, thanks for your time today.
Good morning, Tyler. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you on to talk about this because fireworks come in all different shapes and sizes and power as well. And whether it's the big fireworks that we see in these organized fireworks shows throughout the summer season, or even just those sparklers we have at small family events, fireworks are always dangerous no matter whose hands they're in or what type that they are. So what are some of the basics people should know about fireworks safety?
Yeah, they can be really dangerous. They can be very enjoyable when they're used properly, but we hope that everybody has a safe summer, safe holiday season using fireworks, along with being respectful for their neighbors. One of the first things I'd like to touch on is this year, per township ordinance, which is the same in Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake, fireworks can be used June 29th through July 5th. 11 a.m. in the morning to 11:45 p.m. in the evening. That's an effort to try to be respectful to your neighbors. But the most important thing is while you're using fireworks is to have a clear, open area where you can safely light that firework and enjoy it without being too close to combustibles.
And that plays a big factor also into these bigger fireworks shows that we see, whether it's out on Cass Lake or on Pine Lake or Orchard Lake or anywhere throughout our community that these private and public shows are happening. They're often, well, in all cases, they are consulting with our local fire department for safety reasons. What sort of discussions do go into some of these larger shows that we see also?
The pyrotechnicians submit a plan with the type of devices that they're going to be using on the displays. That plan will include a site plan that shows that we have the proper safety radius determined by the size of the shells that they are planning on using. Some of the smaller lakes and smaller shows that obviously forces the pyrotechnicians to use a smaller sized firework. But we look at all of those. We're taking account to make sure that what they charge the Lake Owners Association or the country club is what they deliver for the show. And then we're on site at the show to make sure that that safety radius is met and maintained and that they're igniting the fireworks safely and trying to just ensure a good evening for everyone involved.
And for individuals or for individual families that may be lighting fireworks just as a group during some of these occasions during that period of time, June 29th through July 5th, what is a safe distance in those cases?
Again, it depends on the size of the firework. Typically, what you're going to buy, and use are fountains or bottle rockets. You want to be in an open space. And the tricky thing with the ordinance and with the state law is that you have to use the fireworks on your property. That means you can't use the roadway. That means you can't go to the school and use their big open fields. You have to use your yard. The fireworks have to stay in your yard. And you want to keep them away from vehicles. You want to make sure that they're not on your deck. They want to be on a hard, flat surface like a driveway or a patio. Again, not a deck. Definitely not a composite deck. But you want to be safe away from the anything combustible, and you want to keep all the spectators clear of it too.
And it's also a matter of safety after you use the firework. Also, we've talked in the past about some things that residents can do after the firework has been done, or if maybe you get a dud in the group. What are some of those steps that people can take after they use a firework, or if one just doesn't work, doesn't go off?
Yeah, if you light a firework and it doesn't work, leave it alone. Just let it sit there. Don't go up and look over it. Don't try to reignite it. Stay away from it. Try to go to a different area if you're going to continue to use fireworks. And then after it's been, sitting there for an extended period of time, and then even your fireworks that you use, we recommend that you put them in a pail of water, let them soak overnight before you put them in the trash. All too often, we see homeowners clean up after a fireworks evening or a Fourth of July celebration, take all the fireworks, scoop them up, throw them in the garbage, and there could still be some smoldering embers in there, which could lead to a fire later in the evening. And we like to be invited to parties. We just want to be there for the party, not after the party.
More information can be found on WB Fire Department on Facebook. You can get all the information you need to know and some helpful tips all throughout the year on fire safety. Joining us today is the West Bloomfield Fire Marshal, Byron Turnquist, as we talk about fireworks safety in particular. And earlier on, I had mentioned as we started our conversation today that, of course, fireworks come in all different shapes and different sizes, whether it's those larger fireworks that we see in some of the big shows or sparklers that we often see handled by our children. And that, of course, brings up the necessity for education for our kids of all different ages as they're using fireworks. What should parents be taking into effect at this time as we get ready for that period of June 29th through July 5th?
Fireworks should really just be, reserved for the adults. Let the adults operate them. I know people love to light sparklers and let kids run around the yard. There's a burn injury hazard with sparklers. There's eye injuries if they trip and fall and can get poked in the face with a sparkler. And then one of the things I always hate to see is when kids throw the sparklers. They can be startled by the sparks and they'll toss it into the air, and then it's hard to find that at night in the lawn, and you'd hate for somebody to be walking through the yard in their bare feet and find that sparkler. So really, all fireworks should just be used by anybody that's over 18. And I know around the 4th of July celebrations, alcohol is usually present, and anybody using fireworks, lighting them should be sober and not drinking.
And we know that accidents can happen. Somebody, like you said, throws a sparkler and it gets lost in the lawn. It doesn't cause a fire, but someone's walking around and they can step on that and get burned. Or there's a number of different incidents that can happen. When those do happen, what are the most important steps that people should take if there is a firework malfunction or some sort of an injury as a result of firework use?
Yeah, it's always a good idea to have a fire extinguisher readily accessible and available. If you don't have a fire extinguisher handy, make sure that you have a hose that's turned on and ready to be used in the event if something goes wrong. Main thing is have a safe distance. Don't try to reignite anything that didn't fire properly, and soak the fireworks before you put them in the garbage.
Byron, we know people want to capture the moments. So often when fireworks are coming into play in the summer, it's for a special occasion like the 4th of July. And so they bring out video cameras or even drones in many cases to capture these occasions. But when we combine the safety concerns of fireworks and then drones, what should be considered or what should be kept in mind by residents that may be trying to utilize technology during these sorts of displays?
Again, try to do it. Make sure you're doing it from a safe distance. With the drones, if if you want to risk your drone and put it up in the air, a firework or may hit it. It's hard to say what direction it's going to go, and when you're flying around a drone up in the sky, the distances can be hard to judge. So yeah, you can get some cool footage. Technology is amazing with what you can capture today. And just again, can't emphasize enough, distance is your friend. You want to make sure you're a safe distance away from anything that's going to explode.
Helpful fire safety tips are available all throughout the year on Facebook at WB Fire Department. You can also find more information and contact the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, which also serves our Tri-Cities in Greater West Bloomfield, by visiting wbtownship.org. We're joined right now by their Fire Marshal, Byron Turnquist, on today's edition of the Splash Live. Byron, before we let you go, we know that there's a number of different misconceptions that people may have about fireworks safety or about some of the dangers. What are some of the more common misconceptions that we do here this time of the year that the fire department in particular really wants to dispel as we get ready for fireworks season?
Again, a firework is essentially they try to control an explosion. So you need to understand what's happening with the fireworks and be prepared for the surprise. If something goes wrong, if a firework isn't built right, it's designed to shoot straight up, it could tip over at the last second and shoot sideways. Just can't emphasize enough being safe, keeping a safe distance away from the firework, just in case something goes wrong. Having a pail of water when people think that they're out and they've been sitting on the patio for an hour or so, still soak those fireworks in water. Don't put them in the garbage can and wheel that garbage can right into the garage. Uh, every 4th of July, we end up with a garbage can fire or a garage fire, basically just for improper disposal of the fireworks.
Any questions you may have, you can contact the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, 248-409-1505, 248-409-1505. Byron, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.